if Canelo not fighting you, forget about everybody else. Go straight to Usyk. Don't play with nobody else. The Usyk fight is one of the biggest fights of this decade right now. Take it while it's hot. Don't play with him, and don't let him play with you. It is not smart for David Benavidez to give Jabbatai a shot at his name right now because he's hot right now. You go up and fight Usyk while you're hot, and it makes sense. You can always come back down and fight Batai if you want to. You understand? If you lost to Usyk, Batai fight's still there. If you lose to Batai, Usyk.
That's a chance to make more history. It's a huge risk for both fighters, but Benavidez, obviously Usyk has a major advantage just being at the weight, and he ain't just no sloppy heavyweight that Benavidez can punch on. He got skill with that size. That's a generational wealth type of payday that night.
Yep, I agree.
Usyk were to do 200, would you fight him?
You guys are giving me a lot of names right now, bro.
Take it easy.
I think Usyk, if anybody deserves more respect than anybody's Usyk. That's not a fight I could take lightly. I would have to fight a couple fights. Usyk is all-time great. He's probably one of the greatest fighters of the century. That's not a fight I could take lightly. The question is not if I can compete at heavyweights, do I want to? Right now, I really cruiserweight. Light heavyweight, cruiserweight, probably for the next 5 years. I'm not even thinking about heavyweight. Maybe I'm sure I could fight a heavyweight fight, but right now, until maybe 5 years, I'm not
80%.
Better that's probably like a 75%. These targets that you're naming, I already have my eye on them. Like you said, I have a schedule. It's Suda Ramirez, Bivol, and then Beterbiev.
Canelo.
0% now. I think Eddie Reynoso did an interview saying that, there was an opportunity to make it happen at 168, but that was a long time ago, so just forget about the fight. So there was never an opportunity to make the fight. We tried to make the fight. They didn't want to make the fight. So now that fight is at a 0.
If you guys used to play Street Fighter, I used to play Street Fighter a lot. And the final boss was Bison. But before you get to the final bosses, you do have to go through a few other big dogs as well. You have to go through Blanca. You have to go through Sagat. You know what I'm saying? You have to go through these guys. And if you're David Benavidez, before you get to the final boss, Oleksandr Usyk, you have to go through a few people. And I guess, look, that's maybe what Turkey means. He's not saying Benavidez versus Usyk now. He is saying 2027. So that probably means 2 more fights in 2026. Those 2 more fights, hopefully, in some way, shape, or form, are Opataya.
Benavidez stays at cruiserweight. The obvious fight is Opataya. But with Opataya comes roadblocks now. The man signed to Zuffa. He signed with an organization that wants to get rid of the sanctioning bodies. He made this fight harder to happen.
If the Zuffa belt is holding back Jai Opataya from the biggest fight of his career, is he going to let that fight opportunity leave to keep that belt? Or is he going to say, fuck that belt, the Zuffa belt, I'm going to fight the best guy in the division. That's going to make me the
one. David Benavidez delivered a huge statement performance with a 6th-round stoppage victory over Gilberto Ramirez. With that win, he added more momentum to his growing reputation and strengthened his position in the cruiserweight division.
Is that why the biggest challenge might be going up to heavyweight and maybe facing a heavyweight?
Yeah, that could be the reason, at the end of the day, he's fucking beating everybody, every division, so might as well go to fucking heavyweight, But that would be great, man. But now that I remember, now that you said that, I think the biggest challenge would be Usyk. That's something like out of this world.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? But but that's the only guy that I think that would be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That would be another big challenge. That's another topic, because he is the fucking pound for pound best.
You spoke about Roy Jones Jr. He went up to heavyweight to find a challenge.
Yeah, no, and I think that's what I'm saying. I think he's really young right now. The weight is not there. He's gonna go down to 175. I mean, we're not even there develop at cruiserweight. So we're going to be playing in those 2 divisions, cruiserweight.
After the fight, many fans expected the next step to be a return to 175 pounds for a potential showdown with Dmitry Bivol. But suddenly, the conversation took a completely different direction. Influential Saudi boxing figure, Turki Alalshik, and Hall of Fame legend Roy Jones Jr. have both sparked major discussion by suggesting an even bigger challenge for Benavidez. Instead of focusing on light heavyweight or cruiserweight defenses, they believe he should consider moving directly into the heavyweight division to face undisputed champion Oleksandr Usyk.
Out and you give me a percentage on if they could happen. Usyk.
It's probably like about a 10%.
It's not zero.
It's not zero. Yeah, it's a higher percentage than Canelo. I mean, to be honest with you. So
I was gonna get to him. Bivol.
That one is maybe 90%.
Ooh.
90%. So we're supposed to fight after this, but you know, I gotta take care of my business here first. But that one looks like a 90%. Better be. That's probably like a 75%. You know, these targets that you're naming, I already have my eye on them. You know, like you said, I have a schedule. It's Suda Ramirez, Bivol, and then Better be.
So Canelo.
It's 0% now. I think Eddie Reynoso did an interview saying that, there was an opportunity to make it happen at 168, but that was a long time ago, so just forget about the fight. So there was never an opportunity to make the fight. We tried to make the fight. They didn't want to make the fight, so now that fight is...
The idea has immediately caught the attention of boxing fans worldwide because of how ambitious and risky such a move would be. Part of the reason this idea carries so much weight is because of who's supporting it. Roy Jones Jr. understands this type of challenge better than almost anyone. Years ago, Roy made one of boxing's boldest moves by jumping from light heavyweight all the way to heavyweight, where he defeated John Ruiz to win a world title. That victory became one of the defining moments of his legendary career. Now, Jones sees similarities in Benavidez's ambition and believes a fight with Usyk could become another historic moment in boxing history.
The thing for Benavidez was that when I saw him at the weigh-in, when I saw the picture of his face after the weigh-in, he looked like a guy that pulled down to make 200.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. He makes 68, he makes 75, and he pulled down to make 200. I was a guy who had never been up to 200 before in my life when I fought for the heavyweight title. I couldn't make 195. I couldn't make 190. Realized I was just fat. So it was crazy to see that he made 200, but he pulled down to make 200. This guy's scary, man. This guy could be the next guy that was once super middleweight champ that could become heavyweight champ, because if Canelo don't fight him, he got to focus on the cruiserweights. But after he beats the cruiserweights, he may as well try the heavyweight division. You know, I think him and Usyk would be a really good fight right now. I really do.
That's the fight that I'm hearing that Turkey wants to make this year. That's
a really good fight.
Oleksandr Usyk and David Benavidez. It's a huge risk for both fighters, but Benavidez, you know, obviously Usyk has a major advantage just being at the weight, and he ain't just no sloppy heavyweight that Benavidez can punch on. He got skill with that size. That's a generational wealth type of payday that night.
Yep, I agree.
And I like the fight with Jai. I think the Jai Opetaia fight at cruiserweight is the fight for me. That's the fight that I want to see. Jai has been the man at that weight class for a very long time. And now you got a new player in the division with a hot name and whose stock and whose star power is only rising. That's the fight I believe that needs to be made at the cruiserweight division. We'd love to see Bivol, but for some reason, the light heavyweight division just is not as appealing to me right now for David Benavidez. And again, I'm not sure that that's the right weight for him to fight, being that he's fought this weight and looked the way that he did. I think it's cruiserweight, or maybe go up and fight Oleksandr Usyk.
Since everybody's making these business decisions, Dre, and everybody's doing things the business way, right?